everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're back with another What's New Wednesday video. I'm so excited about this one. We're talking all about the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation and the new Magic Vanish Corrector. I'm so excited about this. I have been waiting for this foundation to come out. As soon as I saw on Instagram a few months ago that this was coming, I've been looking for it. Every day I've been searching, looking for the release date, and finally it's here. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to try this out for you guys today. I know there's a lot of reviews online on it already, but I hope that you enjoyed this one and hopefully it helps you out. Don't forget, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every Wednesday and Friday. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm so excited about this video. I've been waiting for this foundation to come out. I'm just so excited. Today we're reviewing the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation and also the Magic Vanish Under Eye and Face Cheat. I'm so happy to test this out for you guys today. I did order 2 colors in this foundation. I ordered 3 warm and 3 neutral. I tried really hard to match myself with the shade finder, and it said I was 3 neutral, but I felt like based on swatches I've seen, I looked more similar to 3 warm. So I just ordered both because I just wasn't sure. And then I got Fair, the number 1 in the Corrector. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a 2-day wear test on this because today I did not prime my face or anything. All I did was apply the Magic Cream, which is what Charlotte recommends underneath this. So we're gonna try it out with just the Magic Cream underneath today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna reapply this with the Flawless filter. As I've heard some people say that, you know, if you aren't a huge fan of a super matte finish, then you should try mixing in the Flawless filter with it. So tomorrow I do have that product, and tomorrow I'm gonna do that, and then we can compare. But today we're just gonna do it with the moisturizer underneath. This foundation retails for $44. It comes in 44 shades, which is really great. And the Corrector comes in 4 shades. If you order on Charlotte Tilbury, which is the only place you can get this as of right now, I believe, you can get a bundle for $68. You can get the foundation and the concealer together, and it's $68, and I think you save $8. So if you're interested in trying both, you should get the bundle and save a little bit of money. That's what I did. I've swatched 3N and 3W on my arm so we can see what they look like. This is 3N and this is 3W. And the other thing Charlotte says about this foundation is you have to wait 5 minutes after applying it for it to dry down, and it will oxidize a little bit darker than it looks initially. So I will show you the swatches after 5 minutes and we'll see what they look like. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes now, and I'll show you what the swatches are looking like. The 3N here is definitely pinkier. It's neutral, so it should have a little bit of pink. The 3W just looks like a warm undertone to me. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the 3W first, and then I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll use the 3N and we can compare, but I'm gonna go with 3W for today. Here's the bottle. I'm sure you all have seen it. It's a beautiful bottle. Nice frosted, pretty rose gold as always. Looks like the Flawless filter packaging. So what I'm gonna do is do 1 pump on the back of my hand, use a brush to kind of spread it out, and then I'm gonna go over it with a sponge. That's just how I've been liking doing my foundation lately, so that's what I'm gonna do today. So we'll use, all right, there's 1 pump. That may not be enough. That may be too much, I don't know. So this color may even be too light for me right now, but I was afraid to get a super dark color because I have a lot more sun right now than I typically do. So I didn't want to get something that's too dark and then not be able to wear it in the winter time. I'm doing half my face because I've heard this also dries down really quickly, so you have to work quickly with it. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely full coverage. Let's go over it with a sponge. I actually think this color is okay. Maybe a little bit light, but it's not bad. And it will be good for me in the winter time when I lose any of the color that I have now. It did blend out really easily too. Here is one small layer. I still have some left on the back of my hand. It looks nice. It doesn't look, obviously I just applied it. It doesn't look super, super matte to me. It looks more like a soft matte, which I think is what she says about it. It's not super drying looking, just off my first impression. I usually tend to steer away from matte foundations just because I do have drier skin. I don't have super dry skin, but I definitely don't have oily skin. So I don't typically pick matte foundations, but this is looking okay so far. This stuff is really pigmented. Yeah, I'll tell you what, a bottle of this should last you a really long time because you do not need, this is one pump. Yeah, so definitely start out with a very small amount. And it does, I agree, it does dry down pretty quickly. So I might do one half of my face first and then dot it on the other half. I wouldn't leave dots on your face for very long because you might not be able to spread it. So think about if it only took you a pump to do this on, or to use this on your whole face, this bottle ought to last you a really long time. So that's nice. Yes, it is definitely a full coverage, that's for sure. I am interested to see tomorrow how this will look with the Flawless filter mixed with it and see how much of a difference that makes in terms of the finish. So I'll be back in a second and we will try out the Corrector. Okay, we're gonna try out the Corrector now. Here we have the little compact. This is so cute. It looks like a really, really tiny version of the powders and the blushes. It's so cute. This is what it looks like. I got the shade Fair. It has a little mirror too, which is really cute. I got the shade Fair. Hopefully this will work. I am someone that uses Corrector pretty much every day because I always have discoloration under my eyes. It's a hereditary thing. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get, I just always have that. So I always use Corrector under my concealer. So I was so excited when I saw that Charlotte Tilbury was coming out with her own. I'm gonna take this little shader brush here and just dip in here, and this is so creamy. Wow. I usually use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Peach Corrector, which is like a wand liquid corrector. I'm going to take my sponge now and blend this out. And this, like I said, is the fair shade. So this is a very, very light corrector. Very, very light peach, obviously, because it's for fair skin, but they have them for darker skin as well. I mean, look at the difference between this and this. Huge difference. We're doing the other eye now. You could definitely use a brush for this too. Blending it out, I just usually like to use a sponge under my eye, but you could definitely use a brush if you like that better. I mean, look at the difference. Corrector is so underused, in my opinion. I don't know if it's because people don't understand Corrector or if it's just people don't talk about it enough. You hear more about concealer and not corrector, but if you have an issue with blue, dark, purple circles under your eyes, you should try a peach color corrector, or if you have darker skin, an orangey corrector. Because look at the difference. I mean, it's pretty insane. So, first impression of that is I really like that corrector. It was really easy to blend in. It did a great job of correcting the blueness. So I am loving that. Okay, I'm back. I did the rest of my makeup, and so far, I don't have anything bad to say about this. I mean, I think this is a beautiful foundation. Now, I do think if you use too much of this, this is going to get cakey real fast because it's very pigmented. It is it's not thick, but it's very opaque. So a little bit is going to go a long way. So start with small amounts and build up. Don't apply a ton. Maybe do what I did and apply half of your face. If you dot it on, apply half of your face. Do that side and then do the other half because it also dries down pretty quickly. I would say if you are worried about this being too dry, well, tomorrow when I use the Flawless filter with it, we'll see what kind of difference we get with the finish. But if you are worried about it being too dry or too thick, just make sure you moisturize really, really well. If you don't want a full coverage, you could always try mixing it in with a moisturizer and making your own tinted moisturizer out of it. I think this can be a very multifunctional product. I think it depends on how much you're applying as to what kind of coverage you're going to get. Very similar to Estee Lauder Double Wear. I think it's the same with that foundation. People say that's super full coverage. I think it depends on how much you're applying and how you're applying it. But to me, this is beautiful, and I don't like a thick foundation. I don't like cakey foundation, but I do like coverage, and I think this is stunning. First impression. Now, I don't know how it wears yet. I haven't worn it, but just like an hour or two at this point. As of right now, I would 10 out of 10 recommend trying it out for sure. And just find out how it works for you. Maybe you use a primer and it works better for you. Maybe you use the Flawless filter or some other kind of illuminating product to make it look a little more luminous. Maybe you mix it in with your moisturizer. I think that you can customize this depending on what kind of coverage you're looking for. I'll also be back tomorrow and we'll try mixing it in with the Flawless filter and see what kind of coverage we get and what kind of finish we get. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we are back. Today we're going to reapply the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, but this time we're going to mix in the Hollywood Flawless filter. And we're going to see if it makes a big difference or maybe not. I don't know. So we're going to mix the two together and see what happens. I did moisturize again with the Magic Cream like I did yesterday. The only difference will be I'm going to mix the Flawless filter. So I have Flawless filter in the shade 2, by the way, so that's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to take the same amount of foundation as yesterday. One pump. Just bit of the Flawless filter. So now that I've mixed it in all over my hand, we'll just got some on our face. So I'm gonna do half the face and then the other half like I did yesterday with the same brush, and then we will go back over it with the sponge like we did yesterday. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing some glow happening. Yeah, okay, definitely some glow that was not there yesterday. Oh, do you see that? Yeah, some definite glow. Okay. We'll apply some on the other side. I actually feel like this pump was bigger than the foundation pump I used yesterday. So you might even be able to use half a pump. There's an obvious difference to me with the Flawless filter mixed in with this foundation. Like I said yesterday, this shade is a little bit light for me right now, so I might go back and order 4 warm, but I feel like in the wintertime when I lose my sun, this is going to be the right color. But holy cow, look at that glow that is happening. Okay, so we're going to apply the corrector again like we did yesterday, just with a little flat brush. Look at that. My gosh, I'm telling you, if you have an issue with dark circles, you need to try a corrector. It doesn't have to be this one, but this is obviously really, really nice. So I would recommend it so far, but you can use any color corrector, any peach or orangey, depending on your skin tone, color correcting corrector. It just, I mean, look at the difference. It's crazy. Okay, so I finished the rest of my makeup, and this is what it's looking like. I love this. So I definitely prefer, if I had to choose, I like it with the flawless filter, but that's because I always like a more luminous finish, but I thought it looked really good yesterday by itself as well. So I think it just depends on your preference, but I think it looks really, really beautiful with the flawless filter mixed in. Now, I have not tried putting the flawless filter on first, like a primer, and then putting this foundation on over it. I haven't tried that. I don't know if the coverage would be too much so that you wouldn't see the flawless filter through it. I'm not sure. I haven't tried that out yet. I probably will do so though. I think this is beautiful. I love this. I like it without the flawless filter, but I think I like it just a little bit more with it because I do like more of a luminous finish. So I think this is a way that this foundation can be more versatile if you add an illuminating product to it. I wanted to come back and give you my final thoughts on this foundation and corrector. I wasn't able to come back and check in again last night, so I'm sorry about that, but it's the next day and I have the foundation on again, mixed with the flawless filter and the corrector on as well. So this is what it's looking like. So in terms of my thoughts on this foundation, I like it a lot. Honestly, I've worn it 3 days in a row now. I really, really like it. I like it on its own and mixed with the flawless filter. I think depending on the look that you like, either one looks really nice. I think the key with this foundation is, like I said in the previous clips, do not overuse it. Today I only used half a pump on my face and then mixed in a little bit of the flawless filter in number 2. But do not overuse. If you want more coverage, you can always just add a little bit more, but I would go in with small layers to avoid cakiness. But other than that, I think this is beautiful. If I were choosing, I personally like it a little bit better with the flawless filter mixed in, but that's because I like a luminous finish. But I thought it looked really great by itself with just the demi matte finish, and I'm not a huge matte fan typically, but I really liked it with this foundation. So I definitely would say you can customize it based on your personal preferences and just don't overuse it. I also don't think, I know a lot of people have been saying it oxidizes. I do agree that it does oxidize slightly, but on me it was nothing significant. So when you're picking out a shade, try not to worry too much about the oxidizing. On me personally, maybe it's just me, it wasn't significant on me. So that's not really a concern. I did think it lasted really well the last 2 days when I wore it. I didn't notice it breaking up at the end of the day. I did set it with a little bit of translucent powder, but that was it, and I didn't notice any significant like creasing or breaking up or anything like that. I think it has really good staying power. So overall, I'm really impressed with this. I think, like I said, just be careful of the amount that you use because it's super pigmented and a little bit truly does go a very long way. So just keep that in mind when you're applying. But yeah, I think this is a beautiful foundation. I would recommend you trying it out. If you don't have the flawless filter and don't want to spend that kind of money, you can use any kind of illuminating product and mix it in, and I think you're going to get a very similar result if you like a dewier finish. But here is one other close-up with the flawless filter. That is going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching and for being here for another What's New Wednesday video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe before you leave. I post a new video every Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, simply be you, and I will see you next time. Bye.